Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're digging into something huge, a question we hear all the time about Southeast Asia.
That big expat fantasy.
Exactly. Can you really live comfortably, like properly comfortably in Thailand on just 500 euros a month?
It's the dream number everyone throws around.
Yeah, and we've gone through, 20 years of research, financials, real experiences.
Yep, lots of data.
And let me just, save you some time right now. The answer, it's a hard no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not unless your idea of comfort is pretty basic.
Yeah.
Maybe even risky.
Risky, that's the key word. You'd be sacrificing security, quality of life, things you probably don't want to sacrifice.
Right. So our mission here in this deep dive is to show you the gap, the huge gap between that, frankly, unsustainable 500 idea.
The myth?
The myth, yeah, and what's
Yeah.
actually realistic for a secure, good life there, which the sources consistently put closer to 1,500, maybe 2,000 euros a month. And we really need to focus on those hidden fixed costs, the non-negotiables, stuff that catches everyone out, like security, immigration.
Okay, let's unpack that then, because that's where the Thai government starts, right? Financial security, making sure you're compliant.
Exactly.
And this is where that 500 budget just dies immediately.
Pretty much, yeah. Take health insurance.
Right.
If you're, say, middle-aged or older,
Yeah.
it's often your single biggest monthly fixed cost.
And you can't skip it.
No way.
Yeah.
State health care for expats.
So-
It's very limited. So private cover isn't a luxury, it's essential. For peace of mind, at least.
And what's shocking is how quickly even that eats into the fantasy budget.
Well, let's look at the numbers.
Yeah, give us a data point.
Okay, so even a pretty basic functional plan, say for a 60-year-old, it costs $257 a year.
Annually. Okay, that sounds small on its own.
It does, but think about it. If you're aiming for 500 euros a month, that's 6,000 euro a year total.
Right.
That $257, that's over 4% of your entire yearly budget gone. Poof.
Before rent, before food, before anything.
Exactly. Before day one of actual living expenses.
Wow, okay. And that's just like the entry fee. We haven't even touched the money you need to have but can't actually spend.
Ah, the visa solvency requirements, yes.
The government needs proof you won't be a burden.
Precisely. It's the absolute baseline security check.
Yeah.
Let's look at the common nano visas.
Okay.
If you're over 50, going for the retirement visa, you need to show 800,000 Thai baht
800,000.
in a Thai bank account.
Yeah.
And it has to have been there for at least 3 months before you apply.
Okay, hold on. 800,000 baht. For those of us, thinking in euros. What are we talking about?
Roughly 20,000 to 22,000. Depends on the exchange rate, obviously.
20,000 euros, just sitting there.
Sitting there, untouchable, basically, for your visa period. It's your security deposit with the country.
So if you don't have that kind of cash just lying around.
Then that cheap life dream, it's already over before it began. For many people, anyway.
And even for younger expats, maybe on a marriage visa, it's still tough, right?
It's still significant, yeah. You need to be 18 or older, obviously. But you still have to show 400,000 baht in the bank.
Which is half, so around 10,000.
About that. Or, alternatively, prove a verified monthly income or pension of at least 40,000 baht.
Which is roughly 1,000 euro a month.
Correct. So, connecting this back.
Right.
The government is basically setting a floor. They're saying, look, don't even think about coming unless you can prove you're stable for over a year without dipping into these security funds.
So that's the capital you need before you even budget for rent or food.
Exactly. That has to be squared away first.
Okay. So let's say we've satisfied the visa gods. We've got the cash, got the insurance. Now the daily grind. How much does it cost just to, exist comfortably? Stay cool, stay online.
Right, the utilities. This is another area where budgets can just bleed out unexpectedly.
Because it's different from back home.
Fundamentally different. Take water, tap water. You can't drink it.
Right, so bottled water.
Always. And that adds up anywhere from 400 to 1,000 bahts a month. That's 10 to 25 euro.
Just for drinking water.
Just for drinking water. And if you're lucky enough to have a house with a garden or maybe a small pool, your non-drinking water bill jumps up too.
Okay. But the real killer, the one everyone talks about.
Air conditioning.
Yeah, climate control. How bad is it?
It's significant. Electricity is easily the biggest utility cost driver.
Yeah.
The sources we looked at, they show that if you use AC regularly, and let's be honest, in most parts of Thailand, you probably will.
You kind of have to.
You kind of do, yeah. Your bill can easily hit 80 to 200 euros a month.
200 euros
Wow.
just on electricity.
Just keeping cool. That's a massive chunk of a small budget,
Yeah.
and it's often completely underestimated by newcomers.
Wow. Okay, but there's some good news on the tech side, right? Connectivity.
Ah, yes,
What?
absolutely. While keeping cool is expensive, staying connected is actually surprisingly cheap and good quality.
Like internet and mobile.
Exactly. You can get decent fiber internet, like AIS fiber, plus a couple of mobile phone contracts, and the total comes out to only about 43 euros a month.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable.
Very reasonable. So you can browse, stream, call home without breaking the bank, even while your AC is humming away, costing you a fortune.
Right. Okay, so utilities are a mixed bag, but potentially very expensive. Now let's talk food. And this idea we found interesting, the comfort multiplier.
Ah, yes. This is where your personal choices make a huge difference to the budget.
Explain that.
Well, if you embrace the local diet, eat Thai food, lots of rice, fresh local fruits and vegetables, you can eat incredibly cheaply, like amazingly cheaply,
Yeah.
and healthfully too.
The moment you start craving something specific from back home,
That's the multiplier kicking in.
like what? Imported cheese? A decent bottle of wine?
Exactly. Or specific cuts of meat, maybe European chocolate, that kind of thing. These items carry a huge premium.
Why so much?
Import tariffs, transportation costs,
Mm.
it all adds up. These things are significantly more expensive than in their home countries.
So that choice, local versus import.
It dictates everything for your food budget. Kind of spending 300 euros a month, or are you spending 800? It really depends on how much comfort food you need.
And that choice, I guess, also ties into where you can afford to live. Housing costs vary a lot too, right?
Massively. You can find very basic places in rural areas for maybe 150 euros a month rent.
But most expats want a bit more infrastructure.
Right. So a more realistic example from the sources. A decent house near a town like Hua Hin, that area, Prachuap Khiri Khan, is often mentioned.
Okay.
Cost, you're looking at around 500 euro a month for rent there, which is still reasonable, you know.
Compared to Bangkok or Phuket, I imagine.
Absolutely. Choosing a location like that, a well-established town but not a major city, is a smart financial move. It can easily have your housing costs while you still get good amenities.
So location matters. And you mentioned renting. The sources strongly advise renting, at least initially. Let's dig into that. Why is renting so crucial? Why not just buy straight away?
Well, the obvious reason first. Flexibility. Renting lets you test the waters. You can check out the area properly, infrastructure, community feel, even the microclimate before you sink serious money into something.
Makes sense, get the lay of the land.
Exactly. But the deeper, more critical reason, it's the legal risk. Buying property as a foreigner in Thailand is complicated and risky.
Okay, tell us about those risks, because this sounds like where people can really get burned.
They absolutely can. The fundamental point is foreigners cannot legally own lands in Thailand, period.
Cannot own land. So how do people buy houses?
They use workarounds, often legally gray, sometimes outright risky structures, like setting up a Thai company, a shell company basically, just to hold the land title.
Right, or leasehold agreements.
Or long-term leaseholds, yes.
Yeah.
But these structures, they create vulnerabilities.
If you use a shell company, for example, what's the actual risk?
You're risking your entire investment. Essentially, the land is in the name of a Thai entity or a Thai partner. You're relying completely on their goodwill and on the structure holding up legally if it's ever challenged.
You don't really own it.
You don't have secure title in your own name. Plus, without really thorough, expensive legal checks, proper due diligence, you might buy into a property that has hidden problems, unclear ownership history, existing mortgages, debts tied to the land.
Nightmares.
Complete nightmares that suddenly become your problem.
So connecting this back, that initial period of renting isn't just about finding the right pool bar.
No. It's invaluable time to do your homework, understand the system, and make an informed, non-rushed decision. It helps you avoid potentially catastrophic financial and personal consequences down the line.
Patience is key.
Absolutely. Don't rush into buying. Rent first.
Okay. Speaking of potentially catastrophic costs,
Yeah.
let's shift gears. Family, if you have kids, this 500 yuan budget isn't just challenged.
It's completely obliterated.
Yeah, education costs.
Yeah.
This is where the budget balloons, right?
Instantly. And fundamentally, that 500 myth just completely ignores the reality of educating children to any kind of international standard.
So let's look at some figures. What does, say, a decent secondary school cost?
Okay, we looked at a good middle ground example like the international program at Don Bosco Wataya School.
Mhm.
For a secondary student, you're looking at an annual cost between 4,000 euros and 7,500 euro
4,800 to 7,500 euros per year.
per year, per
Oh,
child. And it's not like you pay monthly.
no. How does it work?
The payment terms are strict. You pay per semester, usually within the first week. So big lump sums up front.
Thousands of euros at a time.
Exactly. And get this, no refunds after that first week. If you decide to pull your child out
Yeah,
mid-semester,
you lose the money.
you lose the entire semester's fees, and you have to pay a compensation fee on top, around 5,000 bell.
Wow. So it's a serious financial commitment, requires real planning.
Absolutely. Serious yearly financial planning.
And that's just secondary. What about university, higher education?
We look at estimates for, say, an IT bachelor's degree at a respected place like Rangsit University's International College.
Okay. What's the damage there?
For the whole degree, typically 3.5 to 4 years, you're looking at a total cost of somewhere between 18,700 and 24,000 euro.
So annually, that's around 5,200 to 6,500 euro.
Roughly, yeah. Now, sometimes there are scholarships, maybe early bird discounts. They can reduce it.
Sure, up to 50%, the sources mentioned.
Potentially. But the baseline cost is significant.
And again, these aren't like elite Swiss boarding schools we're talking about.
Not at all. This is the realistic cost for a good middle ground international standard education in Thailand. It's a necessary investment for many expat families.
So if you have, say, 2 kids in school,
You're easily adding over 10,000, maybe much more, to your fixed annual costs. That higher budget threshold we talked about, the 1,500 to 2,000 a month, it becomes absolutely essential. You simply cannot give your kids a decent education there on a shoestring budget.
the 500 dream just cannot accommodate family life responsibly.
Not even close.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize all this for the listener. What's the bottom line?
The bottom line is, there's a spectrum. You could try to scrape by, maybe on 750 to 1,000 euro a month. But it involves serious compromises, sacrificing quality, comfort, and taking on significant risks, especially around health and legal issues.
That doesn't sound very appealing.
Not really, but for that relaxed, secure, high-quality expat life, where you can enjoy some Western comforts, maybe travel a bit, and crucially, provide a good education if you have kids. You must be budgeting 1,500 to 2,000 euro per month, minimum.
Right. So let's recap those budget pillars driving that higher realistic number. First, fixed security.
Yep. Non-negotiable visa costs, holding that required capital, and essential private health insurance. Costs you can't avoid and can't get back.
Second, safe housing. Not just any shack, but a decent place, probably with air conditioning, reliable internet, near essential services.
Which costs more, especially in desirable areas.
And third, quality of life. This includes the comfort multiplier for food, maybe some travel, entertainment, and critically, those education costs if they apply to you.
Those 3 buckets together,
Yeah.
they push you firmly into that 1,500 to 2,000 range.
So the big takeaway, the core message from the sources.
It's that your biggest fixed costs in Thailand often aren't what you expect. It's not always rent or food that dominates. It's health and visa compliance.
You have to sort those out first. Secure the funds, get the insurance.
Absolutely. Plan for those before you even think about your monthly budget for rent or daily spending. If you don't,
Yeah.
that cheap life you were chasing, it could end up costing you far, far more in the long run.
Okay. That's a crucial point. Secure the foundations first.
Definitely. But here's maybe a final thought to leave people with. If you have to spend years aggressively saving just to build up that 20,000 euro plus cannibal pud pandar to park in a Thai bank account for your visa, and then budget carefully for insurance and potential education costs, are you really having a cheap experience overall? Or have you just swapped one kind of financial pressure back home for a different kind of pressure, bureaucratic, security-focused abroad? Something to think about.
That is definitely something to mull over if you're planning that big move. Food for thought indeed. Thank you for diving deep with us today.